Hi guys, this is Just with a quick message before we get started. Right now, I'm offering a 2-question reading. All you have to do is click the link below. No hassle, no fuss. Click that link, make your quick payment, and immediately you'll be scheduled for your reading. And that's it. If you're interested, you know what to do. Click that link below. Yeah, and we'll set something up real soon. Otherwise, on with your reading. Take care, guys. Hi Aries, this is Just with your January 2018 reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So Aries, I see changes in the workplace, changes in income, and changes in places of employment. Some of you maybe have gotten spared, but there was 3 people have been let go, will be let go possibly in the first 3 weeks of January. I feel like some of you have probably been trying to get out and look for work, but there has been kind of like a stall. You've not been able to really do it. There is opportunity here, though. Some of you could be leaving one position, looking to get into another position. You will have to do some form of training, go back to school. Something about what you have going on in your work sphere is changing. So a promotion, you want a promotion, there's opportunity, because there is opportunity for you guys in the first part of 2018. It will require for you to have to kind of make some adjustments and follow some regulations and rules expected on the outside. So if you're looking for a job, you're looking to get a promotion, you may have to go back to school, you may have to take a test. There's a process before you can get to that place that you want to be at, okay? And if you feel like you've been unable and unsuccessful looking for work, this all depends on, it may apply to you, it may not, depends on where you live, depends on your circumstance. But if you've been feeling that way, possibly look into a different arena, a different area of work, someplace that maybe you may have to take tests. It's a process for you to get there. Something that won't happen overnight. Step outside of who you normally are or the steps that you would normally take in order for you to get the results. Because I do see opportunity. It will call for you to perhaps, again, testing, take a course or go back to school completely in order for you to get where you want to be. Some of you want to get an increase of 60% of, what you're making now. So I do see some changes happening for Aries. That is the theme. That one thing is leaving and you guys have to kind of go through a process to start this new thing. Now, it looks like some things are happening out of your control as an Aries. Some of you could be getting a proposal of some sort that you didn't expect. Some of you may find yourself going to the bank or being in need at a time that you really need something. And then you just say, okay, help, why don't I just make a phone call? And you actually get the help that you're looking for. So definitely if you feel that, hey, you're in a matter of restraints, you may feel, financially in a bad way, or you just need some form of help, advice, that sort of thing, reach out to the most unlikely source, because there is good energy for you to kind of find favor and for people to help you along. Okay. Very good cards that I see here for you guys for January. And really this kind of permeates through January. This goes as far as into Pisces season, Aquarius Pisces season is kind of what it looks like to me. And just to give you kind of like an overall theme as we get into the seasons, there will be some kind of loss. So some of you may not be feeling the effects of the letting go or the loss or the change of some sort right now, but it will be coming down the line for some of you. It's almost like a sweep, right? So when you sweep the floor, wherever you start, that's the first catch. And as you go around, you're going to sweep up everything. It just depends on what stage you are with the sweep. So some of you may be in the middle part of that sweep, which will happen possibly in around, February time? Yeah, around February time. There could be that sweep. And then the final time I feel is like a March thing. But by then, some of you possibly can be getting offers to relocate rather than to completely leave your job. Some of you may be deciding to actually leave your job. So I do see a change in that regard. Now, I feel like some of you, if you've been looking for work though, it looks very favorable as you get to the very top of January. Okay, so possibly the first, what is this? The first 8 days of January looks very favorable for some of you guys to kind of win out a couple of others. It looks like it's going to be very vicious, the competition of getting this job, some of you, but you will win out over I feel other two people. And so you'll possibly be working then. Others of you, I feel like it'll probably happen. What is this? The first 8 days of February. So I do see that happening, the opportunity happening again around that time. It's going to be a tedious process, guys. So this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. Just keep that in mind. There will be some confusion as far as like, you know, am I going to get hired? Is this going to go my way? That sort of thing. So keep that in mind. For those of you who are working and it's not going to be that type of situation, but you know, you're just going through the day to day, you will hear that someone will be losing their job. Some of you will be trying to move up in your positions or move on to a new position, which I feel, if again, promotion is on your mind, upward mobility, there will be people that will help you along. So reach out to people, speak to people, ask people. Don't try to do everything on your own. Even when you get confused about things or you're not really sure, let that time pass. It's just could be some type of planetary energy that's stifling your clarity and your ways of communicating at this time. So don't be hard on yourself. Know that it's just a temporary situation, and then you'll start to get clearer. You'll get more motivated and you'll take action. Okay. So looking really good on the work front for those of you who are actively working and seeking employment. Now, as it relates to, home life, social life, you know, personal life, I'll say, it looks like there's either going to be you having to give money out to help someone, or you not being able to give out money to someone. Looks like you're going to have to either be there for them. They're going to have to be there for you. It could have something to do with school. So some of you parents out there, you could be, you know, giving money for your children's college tuition, a trip for them to go on. But there is some type of issues around money with the child. Some of you, your income can dwindle because now you're going through child support proceedings and you're paying out a certain amount of money for private school, health insurance for your children, that sort of thing. Once you're on the other side of these judgments, I feel you're going to be really happy. You're going to be glad that you're spending specific time with your children. That's something that will be agreed upon or worked out. It will get kind of hairy down the line as we get more into February and March about how often will you see the child, because I do see someone leaving and someone departing from their local area. So just anticipate there being some radical shifts and changes, some out of your control. It will lead to some form of miscommunication or unclearness as to the directions forward, but it'll work out. Okay. Again, just allow the process to happen. And this also can relate to family members, friends, that sort of thing. You could be the listening ear to someone that's important to you. They could be going through some things, because I kind of see that as well. You being that person that has you've got on the other side of it. So your wisdom is quite extended, and you're helping someone else. You know, it could be, you know, counseling someone as it relates to how do they get in school, that sort of thing. So I do see you being busy. Now, as it relates to finances and monies, those of you obviously that are actively making money, I feel like there's an emotional attachment could be to it affecting your money. So if your mind is not right and your heart is not settled, your money may suffer. So just be careful with that. I feel like your mind is not really in the game at this point. There could be some problems with you kind of getting to the next level. You may be putting your efforts in, but you may feel it's futile at this time. And you're a little bit confused. Right now, you're just going through, you know, a huge transition as far as commitment. So, you know, your everyday job, a new relationship, or, a very old relationship, but I do see some shifts and changes, and it's changing you. So that may affect, you know, your money or the reality of it. You may be doing just fine for yourself, but because some unanticipated or anticipated changes are foreseeable, you may feel that, okay, now I'm going to possibly not necessarily be in a place of lack, but my finances will decrease, which obviously makes sense. So I do see money coming to you guys a little bit more money, not a whole lot, but a little bit more money will be coming to you around Aquarius season again. So that is, what is that? Late January going into February. There'll be, and if you've been having money woes and not been able to kind of keep a grasp on, money coming in, money going out, you'll have an opportunity to kind of go through your books, fine tune yourself, plan and get organized. That's what it's calling for you to do, is to kind of take more of a hands-on approach about, how you're spending your money, and really kind of investigate, look into your bank statements and see exactly, where's the money coming out from, how can I counteract that? What can I do to kind of save money, that sort of thing. You will have that opportunity, but it will require for you to be very active and proactive. Now let's get to what a lot of people seem to, be interested in, which is love. Now I do see, and I will focus on an actual relationship. Now this is long-term relationship, someone that's in a very committed relationship. You're committed. You both know that. I do feel like there has been a disconnect in the past between you and your mate because of, you working really hard, them being, mate at one point felt left behind. And then when you do kind of try to give them some attention, they're not interested. So it's kind of like that cat and mouse thing I do see going on here. I feel like this has been going on for quite some time, and there's been some hidden things that possibly has come out during this Mercury in retrograde. It has been a doozy, this Mercury in retrograde, particularly in Sagittarius. People have just been saying exactly how they feel and really just don't give a damn. Like really just don't give a damn. Which Aries, you do that every day, unless you have another aspect that kind of quaffs that a bit. But it's just been very eye-opening for everyone, because I think even Aries knows how to mute and edit themselves more so than the Sagittarius. So there could have been through this transit some hurt feelings and people just really saying that, what, I'm not independent of myself, so I don't need you. You may even have heard someone say that, I don't need you, or you telling someone that, which have kind of scarred them. I do feel like if there has been, and I'm not talking about, threesomes at this time, but there could have been, and I'm speaking to the couples, right? So it could have been something involving another person or something where, someone lost a baby, and this is the two of you, right? So there was, a missed pregnancy, a lost pregnancy, and things are shifting and changing, and this relationship could be changing in ways that now goes from being in a relationship to not being in a relationship. And that means that it's either going to be alimony paid out, child support, that sort of thing, assets divvied up, that sort of thing. And I feel like this person is going to change leaps and bounds. So if some of you are on the heels of divorcing, separating, breaking up, this person probably by the end of it all, you really, like in a year's time, you'll look back, if you have an opportunity to even see this person, and see that they've changed quite a bit. And I do feel like there may be, you will come together if there is this, trying to separate or go your separate ways. They will be coming together later on and I feel like this will probably be more evident in Leo season. I know I'm going way out, but it could be Leo season or around your birthday season, and come back and be able to come like kind of full circle with each other. And be there for the, for the commonality for the child, so being able to get along and that sort of thing. It will kick up old feelings. So because I don't feel like they're completely settled. Someone is kind of licking their wounds right now. Another person is making a complete transformation and kind of going with it because it's been happening for them for quite some time. But when coming back together, obviously you have to, if there's some form of connection there that brings you back together, it's going to kick up all of these emotions and deep, intense, passionate feelings toward one another. Okay. I do feel like as far as you transitioning from a couple to now being on your own, specifically when we get into Pisces season, you may feel, or within like the first, 8 days, like the first couple of weeks of January, you may find yourself going out quite a bit, meeting a lot of people, getting back on social media, kind of getting yourself out there. And even if you see that happening with your mate or your soon-to-be ex or your ex, know that they're confused. They're just trying to see what's out there. They may be trying to build up their ego and self-esteem, but they're not ready to fall for anyone or be with anyone. And if it's you guys, you're going to need a minute. you're going to need a minute before you can kind of get back on your feet. There will be a lull period that you'll be going through. I feel like, again, the first part may have something to do with a full moon or a new moon. Also, that kind of brings up all of these feelings and and anxieties and thinking about the past and ruminating on what you had. So that's going to put you in a place of feeling a bit of lack. You may want to reach out to someone and kind of work things back out, but because they may meet you with such harshness, okay, I feel like somebody's just going to kind of leave it alone and move on. So I do see that. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship and there's no threats of breaking up, I feel that there could just be some disappointments around business, your independent lives as a couple. Your mate could be in school. You're about to make some changes. It could be external situations affecting the relationship that kind of has nothing to do with the actual relationship. If that's the case, you guys are kind of going to work things out midway, mid-month. Things are going to get very hot, very exciting, very fun, very light. And then it'll give its way to there being like some form of confusion. Okay. It could also be based around the fact that you may like to spend time with this person and be with them and it's comfortable because you've been with them for quite some time. But the thought of like moving in together, getting married, going to that next step may be very fearful for you. And you may not be comfortable enough to express that with them. Like it seems like someone wants more of a next level commitment than the other person does. And that could be either one of you. So you have to put that in. And I feel like finally someone's going to have the nerve to, say what's true and possibly decide to either move with that person, take the leap of faith and say, I'm going to move with you. Okay, fine. Especially if you guys live at a distance, or or say, okay, I can't do this, and then move on from it. So everyone will be a bit different. But I feel like it'll be more of people moving forward in a situation after there's like some real honesty. So if you feel like you're holding back a bit, definitely work through your fears and your vulnerabilities to be able to let your mate know exactly how you feel in that respect. As it relates to those that's in those types of threesome situations, I feel like that's the done deal. Someone is kind of reformed. It's like a reformed player. But when it comes to Aries being a reformed player, it's always just a matter of time. It's like they're taking more of a reprieve than they are reformed. But I do see you guys kind of either being done. So some of you are being done with allowing someone to step out on you and ignoring it and just, kind of going through the motions, because now you see more opportunities and more possibilities for yourself, or another person isn't accepting it. Or you see, if it's you, then you see yourself as someone that shouldn't result to trying to fulfill your needs with two separate people without them knowing. So I do see some changes in this threesome situation, some breakups, someone being very adamant about, this is not how I want to carry on. And with that, someone is going to truly evolve as a person from leaving that alone, because it was keeping them in a lower vibration, and they're really going to soar. Now, it's not going to be without some temptation, right? So whoever makes the call to say, I'm done with it, if they don't, you're going to be tempted to see if you're really done, if you're not done, what's really going to go on here. And it will create, an opportunity for a reconnection, but it also will also bring out fighting, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, some of you may take the bait and go back into this, this situation, but for a moment, and then feel really bad. So it's almost like someone that's kicking a habit, and then you get those urges, and then you fall prey to it, and then the next day you feel horrible. It's going to be that. So if anyone is hearing this, I don't care if it's a cross watcher or an Aries themselves, and you can relate to this aspect, you can do it. You absolutely can do it. It's not going to be easy, especially if it's something that you are known to do, you like doing, you feel like it's boring being one person. You can do one of two things. Either be honest first with yourself and know that, hey, maybe I am not at this point willing to be, with one person and committed and monogamous to one person, even though I expect that from them. And there's a comfort I get from them. Try to put yourself in that person's shoes and say, hey, I wouldn't want someone doing this to me. So let me be honest, and it's very hard and difficult for some people to just verbalize that because they really don't want to hurt that person, but you are hurting them by not being honest with them. So the best thing you can do is be honest, or use whatever, level of ethics that you can to ensure that you're not continuing to hurt or be hurt. You know, even if someone's doing that to you and they're pretty selfish and they're not going to, you know, use their own ethical bar, then, you know, if you get to that point where you're saying enough is enough, stick with it, because you will, again, be tested, but you can get on the other side of it. For those of you who are saying that I don't want to do this anymore, it doesn't feel good, you can get through it too. You will be tested, but it's not like it's not, if you really are ready to change, which I definitely see, you're coming up as a death card. So you have an opportunity to completely change into something new with the world card. So there is abundance and opportunity, more than what you can understand, but it's a process, right? It takes a time. It takes a full 360 degree for you to come all the way back and have a full circle moment in order for you to say, wow, I really changed. So it's a process. It's not something that can happen overnight. It does require a lot of you, but you can do it. So that's what I have for you guys that are in those types of situations. It's kind of time to kind of make some changes in that area. You want to. It will be difficult. Some of you will, and some of you, again, it'll be more of a reprieve than being reformed. So I think I kind of covered everyone. Let me just kind of think about it. Singles. I already put up my reading for singles, because a lot of the times singles gets lost in the shuffle. I completely forget about singles. And so hopefully, if some of you are now single, you can go back to the reading I've just recently put up for singles. It's just something really quick, but it kind of gives you a little bit of insight. So that's what I have for you guys for January 2018. I hope that this has been helpful for you guys. If you would like to leave a comment, please do so in the comment section below. You know we'd love to hear from you. And if you would like a personal reading with me, I can be found in the description box below, as well as the beginning and end to this video. If you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Aries.